What is up, guys? Coach Cole back in the building. You already know the vibes. Hockey crew, we back here today with another video, and a new leader today has entered the villa. If you guys aren't watching Love Island, what are y'all doing, guys? My wife has gotten me into the Love Island craze, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a 10 out of 10 bombshell, just like this video today. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and let's get into our new leader today. So if you guys don't know and you guys aren't following me on X/Twitter, I have been experimenting with Green Yellow Law, and I do think that this list is pretty good. Green Yellow Law over the weekend just won a CS over in Japan in the East, and it's really cool to see reincarnations of Green Yellow Law because it kind of reminds you of Red Green Law from OP01, and I was a huge RP Law advocate when it was doing his shenanigans, and I just love Law as a character. So let's get into trying to get him some dubs today, okay? Now, before we get into it, I am going to say that this deck list is very inspired by the CS Championship winner. We are in OP11 here in the West, so this is an OP11 deck list, not an OP12. I will be trying out his OP12 deck list when we do get those cards in August, but for right now, we are doing OP11 in today's video. So, if you guys don't know what Green Yellow Law does, it's for 1 Dawn, activate main once per turn. If the total cost of your characters is 5 or more, which is really important, so you need to kind of set up the early game, you can return one of your characters to your hand. Reveal the top card of your life, and if that card is a Supernova card with a cost of 5 or less, you can play it. Now, the really interesting part about this is that you can always bounce a card to your hand without actually having to summon the 5 cost or less from your life, so you can always do that for free. You will always have to reveal because it is part of the effect, but it is the activation cost, so you can always bounce something for free, so you're able to do that room effect for free. Next on this list, you know her, you love her, Jewelry Bonnie. I have her as a 3 of right now because I do think that this is the worst searcher in the deck, and I can't wait to replace her for Perona because of the fact that Perona doesn't have to have you tap. Sometimes it's good because it's defensive and people will go into Bonnie just to make sure you don't set up your early game, but I do think it is the worst searcher because it does count as technically 2 because you have to tap 1 in order to search. And it's just like, it's okay at best. So I do have her as a 3 of. I would have her as a 4 of, but I do think that there are other cards that I'm prioritizing right now in order to get this done. Next on this list, Kid and Killer. We did get it from the new Bonnie starter deck. I think this card is amazing, and I do really want to capitalize on the effect of set up to one of your Dawn is active. That is why I'm running 1 Gum Gum Elephant Gatling. I would run this at 2, but it is a tight space right now in the deck. So that's kind of why I'm having a 1 of here. I would run it at 2 if I could, but I do want to take advantage of this effect and the new X-Drake effect. It's just 2k, but on play, if your leader has a Supernova type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, which is really good in this meta, and then set up to one of your Dawn cards as active at the end of the turn, which allows you to enable Gatling, right? This will be Dead Man's Game when we get in OP12, but for right now, it will be that. And we'll talk about this a little later with Hody Jones, but Dead Man's Game is basically Hody Jones on crack as an event version, as a counter version, so that's why we play Dead Man's Game. Next on this list, you have to run an obligatory 4 Cavendish because on play when attacking, if your leader is Supernova type, you have no other Cavendish on the field, you set up to 2 of your Dawn as active, and you're able to cheat Dawn out with your Cavendish play. Next on this list, Trafalgar Law. I think he's actually an obligatory 4 of. I used to run him as a 3 of, and I really didn't like it because of the fact that, like, you really always want to search in this deck, and you want to be consistently searching, so you're getting card advantage. The whole point of this deck is card advantage and recurring resources in order to be able to push your opponent's pace out, right? So I think that Law enables you to do that really well. So anytime that I can, I'm always trying to bounce a searcher into either a Beji, or I'm trying to bounce a searcher into another searcher in order to be able to draw more card value. So I think that Law is a mandatory 4 of. I have 1 Bonnie in this list right now. In my original version of this list, I was running 4 Bonnie, and I think Bonnie's really good in a meta call, but I do think that Bonnie's kind of one of those cards where sometimes you just play it and you're just like, oh, it doesn't really do anything for me, right? So I do have it as a 1 of, and I am opting for 3 Restan Law. Now the reason why, I'll be honest with you guys, I saw the CS in Japan, and I saw him playing Restan Law so beautifully, and I know this card could be one of the worst cards in this deck if used ineffectively, But the fact that you can basically restand your Cavendish and get 2 active Dawn back again, so up to 4 Dawn, even more if you really wanted to, just makes it so this card is a 5/6 vanilla stat line, a 1k counter, and it can push you to go for lethal, and makes this deck super aggressive, because sometimes you will just be setting up your board for half the game when you're playing Bonnie and you can't really push for game, but with Law you can. And it also makes your blockers like this Law an attacker all of a sudden, right? Because now you're able to swing 7k with this and then able to restand it, which is really good value, when typically you wouldn't be able to because you're scared to die on the clapback, right? So I really like this Law. I am running him as a 3-up. I would run him as a 4-up, but we're not there yet. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Next on this list, I was experimenting with this X-Drake before I saw it in Japan, and I kind of just solidified it. But I do really like the fact that you're able to rest a 5 or less, and it is a 2k. My biggest issue with this deck was figuring out how many 2Ks I needed to play in this deck in order to play optimally, and we've come up with 12. The X-Drake is really important. We don't run Apu. I think Apu's good, but I don't think it's great, right? Because it doesn't have the threshold of hitting a 4 or less or a 5 or less like the X-Drakes do, right? So these are just 2k counters at the end of the day, but you can bounce them back and use their rest effect. So that I think is pretty cool and niche. So that's why we're running them. We are running 3 Jewelry Bonnie. I've seen a lot of lists run 4. I like it as 3 because I feel like at a particular point in time, you don't run this card anymore and it's just a blocker, right? Probably past your 5 down turn, if Bonnie isn't on the field, you're kind of just using it as a blocker fodder or as a 1k, right? Because you never want to go down in life when you already have your setup. So I think that Bonnie's like a cool, like, niche card in the early turns, but I don't think it's mandatory. The list that was in Japan didn't run any, and I could see why, because again, this card is like okay at best, but it's not great. It's just a blocker at the end of the day. Next on this list, we are running 2 Zeus. Now I will say, I have been thinking about playing Tashigi over Zeus. Right now we are playing Zeus just because of the fact that a 5 cost threshold is really good, but I could see myself playing Tashigi over this, just because of the fact that Tashigi is like really good. Oh, if I could spell Tashigi. Tashigi's really good in keeping our Cavendishes in play, right? So I think that that protection is actually really important for this deck, because our whole deck revolves around Cavendish, kind of just like GP runs Sanji Pudding, and you have to have super protection on it. Tashigi is the same thing, right? So that's kind of my thought process behind that. Next on this list, probably a godsend from OP11, Capone Beige. If you have a supernova type character other than Beige would be removed from field by your opponent's card effect, you may add that card to the top of your life face down instead, which basically just means you're able to reuse your Cavendish whenever needed when you have these 2 on the field. Now, people will target your Beige very quickly and be like, all right, I can out Beige, I can out Cavendish, and that's kind of how the game works, which is kind of why I want to add Tashigi. If I test further, I might add Tashigi over Zeus, but we're going to try Zeus for today. Next on this list is just a search your Monkey D. Luffy, search his top 5 for Supernova other than Luffy, and that's basically what it is. Capone Beige here is another 2k counter, and it is basically doing the same thing that Bonnie does, but the fact that it's a 2k means that when you set this up, you can actually use this and bounce this 2k back to your hand at the same time, so you gain the 2k value and you're able to use a 5 cost from your life. So I think that that's way better than what Bonnie provides, because Bonnie you want to kind of keep on the field because it is a blocker at the end of the day. So I think that Beige is way better than Bonnie, and that's why it's on in this list. I am running 1 Eustace Captain Kid. I've seen a lot of lists run 2. I think Kid isn't the main focus on this deck, but of course it's a supernova, so it's obligatory that we should run it at least as a 1 of. So I have it as a 1 of right now. Next on this list, Hody, Frederick Jones. The Rush on play, you're able to rest down a Dawn or character and basically go for game with his Hody. I think that Hody and Dead Man's Game, I would choose Dead Man's Game over Hody in this build if I could, but because we don't have Dead Man's Game yet, we're just gonna have to suffice with Hody, which is why the deck is so tight in space, because if these were 2 Dead Man's Games, I'd be able to add another Kid, and I'd be able to do a couple other things. Probably in OP12 we're able to add Perona, we're able to add the 2 cost green blocker, which again gives you more protection for your Cavendish, which is really good. Last on this list, I'm going to tell you Trafalgar Law is a mandatory 4-of in this deck because it heals and it gives you a big body. Basically, think about Gecko Moria and Lucci, where it was able to provide insane pressure and also advance your game plan. Law is like not as big as Gecko Moria, but it's pretty much our Gecko Moria of this deck because of the fact that it allows you to recur resources, it allows you to establish a threat, and on top of the fact you do not have to use your leader effect every turn, so it kind of just stabilizes you for the most part. So Law is the obligatory 4-of, and then we are trying the one Gum Gum Elephant Gatling counter of a 3k for 1 Don, or you're able to rest a 5 cost or less, which again X-Ray can do, and I would prefer to run Deadman's, but we are running 11, right? So let's get into some ranked gameplay, and we will be right back. Always want to go first to take away their curve from them, and I think we want to pressure their life as soon as possible. We do have 2 7-cost Laws, a Hody Jones and a Kid Killer. This is kind of an unplayable hand until the late game, and we don't want to go late game with Monkey D. Luffy, so we are going to mulligan here. We are getting a Searcher right away, which is really, really important. We are looking at double Restand Law and Cavendish. I think we always want to get Cavendish here, but it does put 2 Restand Laws out of play already, which kind of does suck. But we are always going to get the Cavendish, and hopefully we'll be able to find those Restand Laws one more time at the end game. All right, so here we can't really do anything with our hand, so we are just going to go 8 into lead, see what they give us. We are never going to swing with the Luffy because, well, first off, we can't, so that's what we're going to go here. He's going to go 7 into my lead. I'm going to take. We get another Luffy. That's really, really good for us. Next, we can do, we'll probably want to play the Cavendish and restand the Luffy, see what we can get here. Because I really don't think that there's much to do other than probably play Cavendish and get more searches out the way, right? So here we are going to, we see another Cavendish, we see another Law. I think we get another Cavendish here, but we could also get a Drake because we are not shy to take our 2Ks. I think we're going to take a 2K here, guys. If we don't need that Cavendish right now, I think that's fine. We can also try to play for this blind, see what happens. And we get a Hody, so we're not going to summon the Hody. And then we're just going to go 6 to lead, get the 1 cost back, and get the 1K back, and kind of just go from there. Now, blinding isn't great, but it is sometimes an option that we can do, right? He does play the Rosinante, so he is able to draw 2 off the Thunder Bagua, which is cool. We know this is a Hody. I think we don't care about taking life here, but if we go to 7 Dawn next turn, we're kind of able to stabilize. So I think we are actually going to go X-Drake and Bonnie here in order to kind of just stabilize a little bit. He's gonna go 6 into my lead. I'm not crazy about that, but Zeus can also take out the thing next turn, so I think we just take that one. So here we go. We're gonna start with Luffy into the Bon Clay. I don't think we really care for that. We can Hody him here. He does have 3 Dawn open. So I do want to take out this Rosinante because this Rosinante is going to become kind of annoying if he keeps on giving value like that. So we are going to go Law. I think we want to give our Restand Law here and then give that. I don't want to go down to 1 life, but I almost feel like I have to in order to play this game correctly. So here's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go 6 here. We're going to restand 2 because now we can play the Zeus. I can reveal, bring back that, play this. Oh, actually we can't. Look at that. That's unfortunate. Okay, I mean we could bring back the Cavendish, but I don't think that makes sense to. No, we're not going to do that. So we misplayed a little bit. That's fine. I think we still here are going to take the top life and then just do that. And then go 6 here. I just don't want him to have all this Dawn available to him because he can Gum Gum Giant, he could Thunder Bagua. He's obviously playing a pretty big event package if he's playing Rosinante. So we kind of do want to make sure that gets out of there. Okay, so he does kill our Cavendish, which does suck for us a little bit, but he's got 5 Dawn to work with. I don't think he can really do nothing outside of maybe play Rosinante again. So I feel pretty good about this. And if he plays Rosinante again, I don't feel too bad. Here we're just gonna go there. I think we can Kid next turn pretty safely. We can Kid next turn pretty safely. We can also just search and see what happens. But Kid is actually kind of cool. Huh. I think Kid is pretty safe here. So we can Kid into Beji, which is fine. We can go 6-6-9. Oh, actually, we do need to give a Don to Kid. So we can go 6-10. And then just Beji. That's fine. I think we're just going to 6-10. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Or, well, we go... Oh, we can't 6-10, can we? No, because we need to give one to Beji. So we'll 6-9. 6-9. Hee hee. Alright, there's that. So he's gonna Giant there, that's fine. I think we just Kid here. We're gonna rest. We're gonna play a 3 or less. We're gonna give that Don to Kid. And then I think we just pass it off. Because now he has to go through this Kid. And I'm not too worried about that. He's going to try to pop the Kid. I can just put the Kid back in life. He has a 12k now on the board. I'm not too worried about that though. He's gonna go 6 into my Law. I had to give him a 1k off that. That's fine. He has no Don up. I feel like that's kind of a misplay for him. Okay. I almost want to go here, see what we can get. So we get a bunch of 2Ks. We could Kid again. I mean, we had to kind of get Kid an unnatural way, and that's by kind of like resolving this or like just taking it from life, because we can't play it naturally. So that kind of does suck. So I think we want to pick up. I think we want to pick up a 2K here, and then I think we can just bring back Zeus, reveal the Kid. Obviously we know that the Kid's there. We'll reveal the Zeus. We'll bring back those. We know the Kid's there, so we just get that for free. And then I think we can kind of just play around and go 7. No, we don't even have to go 7. We can go 6, 6-10 again, right? And he's not gonna go through all this, right? So we're gonna put the X-Drake there. Give my Law 1, so that's 7. We'll go 6, 7, 10. And we have 3 life. I think we're kind of chilling. Because he has to go through the Beji first, right? Or do we go 6, 8, 10? Or 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, 9. 9 requires 2 cards out of hand. 7 requires 1. I think we're gonna go 8 here, just to pressure his life a little bit. That's fine. Cool. So he's at 0 life. He has to keep Don up. We know we have Hody Jones. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about this. And we know that Kid's one of these lives. We know that a 2K is another of these lives. We don't know this unknown life. But I don't think he could get through 3 blockers. Or 2 blockers and 3 life in 1 turn. I think we just give you the 1K. That's fine. We definitely give you the Beji. And then like you rush Luffy, you time skip here. Okay, interesting. Time skip is interesting here. He can't, I mean, he can swing, but I think we just win here. Unless he blockers up. But again, Hody can handle that, so I think we just win here, guys. I don't know. 6 here again. I'm gonna give you a 2K. 12, that's fine. Do you just keep all your Don up? No way. Wow. Okay. Okay. I was just about to say. I was like, okay, sure. So he could have gotten 3, 8, 8K. 8K. Okay. So 8K, 10K, 12K. That's a lot of counter, honestly. But I probably would have definitely played the Hody here, just to get 2 out of hand. And then I think I go 10 is my best number to force a Giant if there is one. And so it would be either the Divine or this, right? So you could go 9, 11, and then I go 8, 8. or 6-8, something like that. But yeah, that's game 1. Let's get into game 2. I think that was a pretty good showing. And again, they're gonna go first, I'm assuming. GP always wants to go second. Let's see what we got here. I'm a GP main, so I kind of know what this goes for. So we go first. We don't have a playable hand on first right away, but we go 1-3. I think this is not terrible, honestly, because I want to kind of see double Cavendish. But I think maybe we get searchers. Okay, I'm gonna mully for searchers just because I think that might be the correct play, and then I get into an unplayable hand. Great. I think that hand was actually not too bad, if I'm being honest with you guys. Still getting an unplayable hand. We don't have kill triggers, so I'll just go 6 first, just to be safe. We'll play Beji and pass. It's not a great start. This is kind of a slow start, and this happens sometimes. But that's why I think I need to play 4 Bonnies, but I mean, it doesn't change too much because the Bonnie was replaced for, what was it replaced for? A Gatling? So like if I see a Gatling, then maybe that's, or no, it's a 3rd Bonnie. So maybe that's what happens, right? So 4, we're on 5 now. And again, we still don't have like a great start, but we can kind of answer this with Frankie here at least. We could answer it with this and then kind of play the law after. Yeah, okay. So we'll rest this. We'll go here, 6. And then I think 6 is fine here. And then we can law back the X-Drake or the Beji. I think I'll law back the X-Drake just because it's open. Yeah. Then here we'll just law back the X-Drake. Law back this. And yeah, I think we just passed there. Now we have all this 2Ks in hand that he knows of. But we have 2 blockers, which is kind of good. Now he's going to Sanji Pudding. I'm on 5. I'm going on 7. I really need to find something. Because I really just have nothing to really compete with right now. So that kind of sucks. He revealed a Sanji off the Pirates. I can't wait for that to be a Nami. He can again ramp here, which is kind of cool. So he's going to go 6 here. I am just going to give him a Beji. I don't want to go down. Cavern Patch is really, really good here. Cavern Patch is really, really good here. So the problem is, actually no, because we can still play the Beji. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say the problem is that we can't really do anything here without returning something, but we can just return the Beji here, play the Cavendish, and then restand 2, and then we will be able to get the Beji back in life, or Beji back on the board. So that's really good. So we just established a 9K, and we've established our Cavendish all in the same turn. So, I mean, he has 8 cards in hand. He has a Sanji Pudding, which is obviously threatening. But we do have Kid, and Kid is this deck's, like, literally Achilles heels. So, if we can establish Kid next turn, I think we're chilling. He does have a Zoro, so he's going to have 4. The only card that actually answers Kid in this deck is Gamma Knife, and doesn't look like he's searched for it at least, so he's just kind of going to go the Sanji route, which is fine. Kid will help us here. He is kind of beefy. He can go 6, 7, 4 with 5 more Dawn active. That's pretty good. So he's going to go 5 here. That is a good answer. I think here I am just going to take... No, actually, no. It's the easiest thing to block. But then he's just going to go 7 into my law and keep pressuring. Or 6, 6. Or 6, 8. Yeah. I think we just give him a 2K. Just going to give him a 2K. That's fine. And then when he goes 8 or 7, that's fine. We will take the life. 7, fine. Here, we're not in love with the 6. But he has 3 open, so that means that... Oh, I resolved that. Why did I resolve that? That sucks. That's fine. We'll give him 8. I was supposed to block her there. That's a little bit of a misclick. That's fine. Not a big deal. So here is the problem at hand. He has a lot of cards. He has a lot of Dawn. He has a Chopper, which is really good. And he's going to obviously just block whatever I give him. I think we just have the kid here. And then we're just going to go 6 to lead, restand 2. He's going to give me the block, which is fine. I'd rather deal with the Chopper now than later. Okay, interesting. So we're going to go 6 here. And then we're going to go 10 and leave 1 up. Or 10 and give 1 to kid. He will give me the Chopper blocker here. But then he has to play the Sanji Pudding over it. I think that's fine. I think we just give him the value of... I think we just kind of bait him into... Choose no target. Do I want to choose no targets? Choose no targets. Do we bait him into just trying to keep on going into it? Because we know he has a Sanji Pudding, right? So, like, that doesn't hurt him too much. I think we just go... Interesting. This is a free block, right? Obviously. And he just Sanji Puddings for free. I mean, he gets the value either way, right? So, no, we're just gonna go 10. He gets the value either way, guys. So, it doesn't really matter too much. If he only had... I mean, we could have gone into the Frankie, but it doesn't matter because of the fact that he would have just blocked it. So, yeah, he just gets the Sanji Pudding for free. That's fine. He has to go through the kid. I'm not too worried about him going through the kid right now. 1, because they don't play Hody Jones. 2, because they don't play Dead Man's Game. They really have to go through these blockers first before they go through the kid. Gamma Knife is really freaking good. Gamma Knife is really freaking good. So he did have the answer to it. Okay. So kid's a 3K right now. Wow, and he gets the Dawn back. That's really good. But if I protect it here, then he just has to give me more and more swings into it. Sometimes just giving them the swings to go through it is kind of good, right? Because now he has to at least commit a couple Dawn more in order to get Nami to swing into it. Yep. That's fine, because now 6, 7, like one of them are going to take them, or is going to take it, but I'm going to force you to have to use these swings. So 3 is almost okay. I almost want you to do more. Well, he can Electrical Luna, which does kind of suck. Electrical Luna would win him the game here. That's fine. Electrical Luna would win him the game here, guys. So if he has Luna and like a giant, like that's really good. That's fine. Now he only has a Sanji Pudding left. Like, you can swing into the Cavendish. That's fine. Like, Electrical Luna is going crazy right now. Okay, no Electrical Luna. I mean, we don't have Hody Jones, obviously, which is unfortunate. Let's see. Well, we have to go 10, I think, here. I think we have to go 10. I think 10. Let's see, we have 15K, 20K, 30K. So 10, 10, 10 is our best count, our best thing. Yeah, I think we just go 10, 10, 10 here, guys. See what he does. I think 10, 10, 10 is our best. If he's able to get out of 10, 10, 10, he just got it, guys. Like, I mean, 10, 10, 10 is a lot of damage. So he has the Giants. He had a brick. Okay, 12. Okay. 10, 10, 10, guys. If he just had all his Giants, bro, he just got all his Giants. There's not much we can do there, okay? And 10. Ooh, he does have double giant. But does he have another counter? Oh, he does. Alright, good game. Good game. Yet another giant and double Gatling? Ugh. Brother. I think that was a closer game than it needed to be, though, so good. Sorry about that, guys. My doctor had called me literally in the middle of recording, so I had to pick up the phone. But we are looking at maybe adjustments to this deck because maybe we want 2 ACOS kids. I think ACOS kid kind of does help us win the GP matchup. So maybe we do take out Gatling for now just to see another kid. I think that's the one adjustment that we'll make because I do think that we were closer than we should have been in that GP matchup. And again, GP isn't super favorite for us, but we are going to play this next game and see what we're cooking. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, we're going against Buggy. I don't know what the spread is against this, but I think we always want to go first. He did choose to go first, so that kind of does suck for us a little bit. We do have 2 restand laws. I think we want more searching, so we'll get more searching here. Again, we don't see a 1 cost, which does kind of suck for us. Huh, interesting. I think we just take this, hoping that we see our 1 cost. If he goes 5 with Galdino, I'm going to be tight, and he's going to do exactly that. Alright. So, we are 4 down. We really can't do anything, which does kind of suck here. So, I think we're just going to go 5 into Galdino, play X-Drake for 3, and then pass. That doesn't feel great, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. That doesn't feel great. And I know we took out 1 Bonnie, but I don't think that matters too much here. Do we want to go down to 2 life so early? I don't think so, but I think we're gonna have to. So he's gonna go on 5 down. If he goes Croc Mihawk, oh, interesting. So he just played that out straight up. This takes care of a 4, not a 5. So we're gonna go here. We're just gonna play Cavendish out. I think here now we're gonna go return. Actually, no, we're gonna go Beige first. We're gonna take the top life. We're gonna put Law back in here. Now we're gonna reveal, return, use the card action, bring back, and then we can play Zeus here. Take the top life, kill. Now the problem is we're at 0 life, guys. So like he has no bodies, but we're at 0 life. So. We did get a Luffy off that. We might have want to play the Luffy. I might have wanted to play the Luffy. He just goes 5 straight up. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I gotta give him a 2K for that. So now we're at 8. I almost want a kid, but I can't get Don back. So I think we Law here. And we're gonna give the Law here, there. Go. Do we reveal here? I think we do. I don't think we play it, and then I think we're just gonna go 6 and then play the Luffy. We do get another 2K back in hand, which is super helpful. And then Luffy, hoping for another Cavendish, is not bad. He does just have to clear this Law, and then I'm kind of cooked. And he has 7 cards in hand to do that. So like he could theoretically play Buggy and then just go 9 into my life. Do I get out of 9? I do get out of 9, but that is pretty freaking close. Okay, so he goes Croc Mihawk into Alvida, draw 3, trash 2. Interesting. Gravity Blade was super hard to counter. He cannot swing anymore, so I'll just take the free block. And then he's gonna Moji, which is a blocker if you have 2 or more base. So this isn't a blocker yet. That's cool. That's kind of important for us. We can Hody here. We can also just Eustace Kid. And I think Eustace Kid is the move here. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go Eustace Kid. I'm gonna give Eustace a Don. I'm gonna play out the X-Drake. I'm gonna play the X-Drake. Luffy's gonna kill this. And then we're gonna go 6, 6. We're gonna go 6 and 9. 6, 9. Clean 6, 9 I think is helpful here. He's gonna have to get rid of this kid. He is gonna have to invest some Don into this. If he plays the buggy, it does kind of just foil our plans, but we still have a blocker to get through. 8 cards in hand is a lot though, I'm not gonna lie. 8 cards in hand is a lot. And we probably could have even just gotten the 2K back. So that's a little bit of a misplay, that's okay. The 2K would have been nice actually. Moji into Crocodile. Okay, so now these are +2s, and this is a blocker now. So he's able to, okay, so he does do that. He still has to get through here, right? And he has only a 5 and a 7. He's gonna go 5 into 3. Then I give him a 2 and a 1 here. No, that's fine. He's telling me he doesn't have counter here, guys. A 5 into a 2. That's fine. And then 7 to lead. He's telling me he doesn't have counter here. Which is fine. I mean, we could just Hody him here. If we Hody him, what happens? If we Hody him, what happens? I don't think anything happens. I think we just win. Assuming he doesn't have a counter. Hody's kind of a big risk, but I don't think I have another play, so that's that. And then it doesn't matter what I rest. So I think we go 7, 7, 8, 9. I think those are the best numbers. 7, 7. That takes 2 cards out of hand. 8 takes 2 cards out of hand. 9 takes 3 cards out of hand. Because if we go 6, we just lose aggression. So like, yeah, let's just go 7, 7, 8, 9. See what happens here. I think Hody maybe just wins us the game here. If he has a 2 and a 1 here, I think we're good. Because if he has a 2 and a 1, he would have to have exactly 2K counter here. So 8, he has to give me 2 cards out of hand. Yeah, I think we're good. And then he has to have 2, 2, 1. 2, 2, 1? Nah, he doesn't have it. Good game. Good game. I was like, no way. Good game. All right, so that is the buggy matchup. I did misplay a lot here. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I think Kid just kind of helped because of the fact that he had to answer it. He has to respect it. So maybe we do keep Kid at 2. Maybe we do take out the Gatling. But yeah, I think that's pretty much my list for now. Maybe I go up to Bonnie. Maybe I go down here. Maybe I go up to 3 Bonnie or 4 Bonnie again. And then keep the Bonnie at 2 of. I don't think that this Bonnie's super good, like I said before. So maybe we just do that. And yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much the video, guys. Let me know if you guys have any comments, questions about Green Yellow Law. I'm excited to play this deck in OP11 and OP12. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.